There it is. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Welcome to episode 1 of Hail Married, featuring me, Carnage Razor, and my wife,
Sweet Aries. Hello.
And on top of both of that, in case y'all haven't noticed the incredible starting soon screen, look at this fucking overlay. One of many, by the way. The color scheme, the production, the transitions, all of that beautiful stuff by the special man in my head right now known as Blaze.
Yay.
Say hi, Blaze.
Yo, what up?
It's fucking beautiful. We finally got to do a show with Blaze in a roundabout way. And more importantly, me and the wife finally got to do a show together, which is a long time coming, I think. So that's a fun time. She kind of came to me and was like, hey, I want to do a show with you. And football is one of her common interests. So here we are doing a show about football. Now, to clear things up a little bit, so far this is just going to be a playoffs only kind of show. Only going to be covering the playoffs at first.
Yeah.
If we like it, and if you guys like it, maybe next season we'll do it again, and we'll just kind of cover week to week stuff. But we'll see how it goes, you know. Which is why the title says 1 of 5. There's only going to be 5 episodes, you know, to compensate for all the playoff games and all of that. But we out here.
We out here. Woo woo.
So, just to kind of go over what we're going to touch in this show is basically we're going to try to keep it to a very casual tone. We don't want to be like over the top, like this person got this many blocks and this, you know what I mean?
Like an overview.
Yeah, we're going to do more of an overview. Yeah. So it's like going to be just more of the names that people are familiar with, the quarterback stats and stuff like that, and more so just why we think certain teams won and why we think certain teams are going to win, and maybe what they could do to make that situation better, and maybe some off-season discussions, what's going to happen in the coming off-season. Some things to follow would be like the Washington football name has announced that they're going to be renaming the team in early February, so we should still be doing the show
February
when that comes.
2nd.
Yeah.
They're going to announce the new name.
Right, so that'll be a fun thing to talk about. And then just other topics like that, you know, are kind of current event-ish, you know? Oh my God, look at the chat. They're just like,
What?
we don't even care about football. We're just here for AF. We're just here for Sweet Aries.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous.
Oh my God.
Been nervous all day.
So, yeah, one of the cool things that we're going to be doing here is we're going to be covering highlights. We're going to be going through highlight reels and going over some plays that happen. We're going to give you guys a little cool show with some of that stuff too. So without further ado, let's get right into it because we got a lot to cover. This is a big opening playoff
we had
weekend.
Quite a few games. So
yep. So if we're going to line it up with so before we go over to that, actually, really, let's discuss things here. So we actually have. These are Athens notes. Holy crap! First of all, she came prepared. I just want to say that right away.
Yeah.
Like, God. We have established who we thought were going to win this weekend prior to the show happening because we knew going into the show we would have to come up with predictions. So we have our own predictions prior to this weekend happening that we wrote down. So we're kind of, you know what I mean? We're kind of on top of things with that. One game that we haven't seen the outcome yet will be happening tonight, pretty much following this show. Yeah. It's going to be between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. More on that later. We'll start with what already happened first. And Blaze, if you're ready, we can get into the first set of games. Look at this overlay. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at this. This is our reaction scene, you guys.
Blaze is a god. Look at that. Like, that's just
oh my God. Amazing. The chalk is dope as fuck. Check out all the little hidden messages all around. I
feel like I'm on a real TV show, with that background. I mean, but you know what I mean, like on cable, with high production. And
this is DMG TV. This is better than anything on cable. So the first game here that Blaze has queued up for us because he's such a wonderful freaking producer is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Las Vegas Raiders. Jesus.
They were in Cincinnati. They weren't playing in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
They were playing in Cincinnati.
The first time Sweet Aries is going to correct me on something football related. Get used
Let's write this down.
Get used to that. She's good. She knows her stuff. So this one was interesting. As much as we both kind of wanted the Raiders to win this one, the Cincinnati Bengals ended up taking this. So just to give you guys a little insight on these two teams here, the Cincinnati Bengals had the longest streak in the entire NFL of not winning a playoff game.
I think it was a curse, wasn't it? A curse that they had or something.
I mean,
like that?
everything's a curse. In
Yeah, I
sports,
guess
so it's
that's
hard to say. But basically, to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're doing here, this team, the orange and black team, has not won a game in the playoffs since 1991. They ended up winning this one, breaking that streak, and now they're no longer the longest streak without winning. However, just a little fun thing. That was one thing to cheer for, you know, if you're a fan of cheering for the underdog. But then the Raiders, on the other hand, went through so much adversity this season.
Everything.
In case you guys hadn't heard, earlier in the season, they lost their coach, John Gruden.
Yeah.
He had been caught with pretty much homophobic slurs and racial slurs.
Yeah.
All kind of
all
emails
resulting
that
back.
leaked. Yeah.
It was like involved with the Washington football team.
Mhm.
It was an
It was a big mess.
investigation.
It
It
was
was
a
a
big
big
mess.
thing. So he had stepped down. And then I think, I believe like a little bit after that, or maybe it was before when they had their like famous like all-star wide receiver.
Yeah.
He had a DUI. Well, he was drinking and driving and he killed someone.
Yeah.
So he is going to
So
be
his
probably
career's
spending, the rest of
Yeah.
his life in jail. And then there were some other things that were going
Just
on.
on top of
On
those
top
two
of
things.
those two things, they had another player got into, was it a fight or was that another DUI?
I don't know. There was
I
so
don't know.
much.
There was just a lot of things going on within the Raiders organization. So
all types of ill shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that they made it this far with everything that was going on, that tells you something. Like they were definitely
Right. And on top of that, they had a coach that had never coached a team
Yeah,
before.
true.
That's
Yeah.
what they refer to as an interim head coach because it's just like a temporary thing while they're getting a new coach for the
He
organization.
was like number 2. Like in
Yeah.
Austin Powers, like number 2. he was the number 2.
But what's crazy about that is like they still made the playoffs. They still played well. But I mean, at the end of the day, Cincinnati just played a little bit better. So me and Afton both chose the Bengals on this one. As much as we wanted to see the Raiders win, and I even told her as this game was happening, I was like, if the Raiders win this and go on somehow to win the Super Bowl, this is going to be made into a fucking movie.
It was actually crazy because when I got into football, I haven't always been into football. I would say like it really started with COVID and being home all the time. Me and him would watch it together, and I just really got into it. And when I was looking for a team, I was actually considering Cincinnati to be my team.
Yeah,
at
sure.
some point, I didn't go with them, but I would have to say like they probably would be my second team.
Ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Next game, Blaze.
Oh, we should do
Do what?
highlights of how many like the score.
Oh, before we get to the next one, actually, before that, Blaze, if you want to talk about a controversial call in this game real quick.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about that.
Mhm.
Blaze has a special clip queued up here. I think this is it right here, right? Yeah, Blaze already knew what I was talking about. Beautiful. So, thanks, Blaze. In this call right here, this was a big misstep by the Raiders, or by the referees, rather. What happened was, you'll see the Cincinnati's quarterback, the orange and black guy, the guy holding up his hands right there. Joe Burrow, yep. When the play starts, he starts kind of scrambling towards the end. Scrambling referring to running. He kind of runs towards the edge where he's getting ready to go out of bounds, making the play stop right there. But before he gets there, he's able to just kind of throw it at the last second, right before he gets there. Well, because he was so close, when he threw the ball, the ref must have seen him go out, and halfway through, but this is why they're slowing it down here, halfway through him throwing the ball, the whistle gets blown. So everyone on Las Vegas side, the Raiders side, just kind of slows down and says, oh, the play's dead, we're done. But then they catch the ball and they call it a touchdown. So this was a huge controversial call right here that only got overlooked because, well, the Cowboys happened, but that's later.
And then, like, because of that call, like, the refs that did this game, they're no longer doing the playoffs, and they might be fired. So because they go by review, and I guess from what from like research that I've done, they do like a grading system. So the best refs that they grade will go on to do the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
It's like a great, like if you were in school, like they give you a grading system and whoever has the best grade moves forward. Which I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Now we're ready for the next game, I think. Nah, we're good.
Okay. All right.
So the next game here we have
My Bills versus the Patriots. I'm a obviously, I'm a Bills fan all the way.
Obviously.
The Bills Mafia. And let's just say, one hell of a game. Josh Allen. That's he did a perfection game. Every time they had possession of the ball, they scored a touchdown. No field goals were scored, just touchdowns.
Buffalo.
Yes, Buffalo. Yeah.
Well, this game, I will say this. Obviously, Afton.
I'm a little biased,
she's a little
but
biased. She chose the Bills. She chose Buffalo. Oh, okay. I chose the Patriots. And the
How
reason
dare
why
you.
I chose the Patriots was because you have Bill Belichick, the
Yeah.
head coach for the Patriots, who is going to be going down as one of the most legendary coaches of all time. And
Yeah.
I figured maybe he had a chance of beating Buffalo because Buffalo had some slouch games this year.
yeah. But guess what? Bill Belichick he doesn't have Tom Brady anymore.
He doesn't have Tom Brady anymore. God did it show here. He has a rookie quarterback, and he did well with a rookie
Yeah,
quarterback.
he did do well. The fact that the first time, I just have to say this because I just think this is just wild. The first time that the Patriots and the Bills played this season, because obviously they're division rivalries, Mac Jones, who is the quarterback of the Patriots, only did like 4 passes the
Oh, yeah.
entire game. They
Yeah, 'cause it
just
was
ran
snowing.
the ball and ran the clock.
It was
And they end
snowing,
up
too,
winning
yeah.
that game.
Yeah. Bills didn't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, Bills were like, because they couldn't believe what was going on. Like, he only threw, I think it was like 4 or 5 passes.
I have to address the chat. This isn't going to happen often where we address the chat, but sometimes something's going to be said where I just got to be like, all right, hold up. So someone's talking shit about Tom Brady. Well, not talking shit, but B-Dub says, y'all out here giving Tom a lot of credit. Gronk needs some of that love too. Gronkowski was not always with Tom Brady. Tom Brady won Super Bowls before Gronkowski ever got into the NFL. So, I mean,
At least,
Gronk will
what,
get his
2 or
credit
3?
where his credit is due, but he's not getting the credit for those Super Bowls. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so the Bills just demolished the Patriots.
And let me tell you, if they
abysmal.
can play like that, whew,
We'll get ahead of ourselves.
I'm sorry. It just makes me excited, but also very scared. But we'll get into that towards the end of the show. But this is
Yeah, so Af is up here, 1-0 because we both picked the Bengals in the first game.
Mhm.
She picked the Bills this one. I picked the Patriots, so she's kind of winning in that regard. If we're going to keep track of it, I don't really see a need to keep track of that. Maybe next week we'll start keeping track.
okay. I mean, no, that's not fair because I kicked your ass this week. I've been kicking your ass. Mind you, we're in a fantasy, my first year playing fantasy, and I was the champion. It came down to me and him in the final, in the championship game, and I whooped that ass.
Next game, right? Whatever you're right. Oh, my favorite. This one was between the Philadelphia Eagles
Oh, God, this
at
shit
the Tampa
show.
Bay Buccaneers.
Let's just say it was a shit show.
I can watch highlights of this game all day. This game was 100% the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
The Eagles, I don't even know if they
Tom
come off the
Brady
bus.
ran all over the Eagles. Like,
Yeah.
he ran all over that defense.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he did
Well,
all
not at the beginning, but like towards the end, like he just outplayed them. First off, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for the Eagles, what the fuck was he doing?
Well,
Like,
hold on, I'll tell you because you have some wonderful notes here. Oh my God, he missed half of his passes. He
Yeah.
went 23 for 43. That means he missed half of his passes. 20 passes incomplete. 258 yards, which is a lot, but not enough. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, the turnovers. That's not
Oh yeah, one of those interceptions they scored a touchdown, I believe.
Yeah, pick 6.
Yeah, pick
And actually, that's something I want to say. As good as Tom Brady is, the Buccaneers, they looked a lot better yesterday than I thought they were, but I think that was just because they were going against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm a little
I mean,
biased
come on
there.
now, the Eagles, the Eagles were a team in rebuilding. They shouldn't even made the playoffs, but they did. And to go
Well,
against Tom,
It helps
like-
when you're in the worst division in the fucking league. When you got to go against the Giants twice a year, it doesn't really mean much. So
and it's Tom
anyway,
Brady, so I mean,
right, and it's Tom Brady.
Playoff
and
Tom Brady.
On top of that, I don't necessarily know if the offense is going to be all that the Buccaneers need because their defense is kind of like crazy yesterday. They got their defense healthy. The defense has been injured for a long time. A lot of players on the season, but they got a lot of guys back last night.
for
And
defense because they have a
holy
lot
shit.
of players out
Oh, yeah.
on offense.
But holy shit, did it show. The defense just showed to fuck up, and
But if you remember last year, come on, the Super Bowl, look what that defense did to Kansas City. They shut down Patrick Mahomes. Like, just straight shut him down, and they were not able to do nothing. Their defensive coordinator should be in talks. Hopefully, he should get a head coaching position with all the head coaching positions available now.
The Chiefs one or the Bucks one?
The Bucks. We're talking about the Bucks. Yeah, their defensive coordinator.
Yep. But yeah, so not really a whole lot to talk about here other than that. So
yeah, Eagles got their ass whooped.
Move on to the next one.
I don't know if they showed up or what.
It should be 49ers in Dallas. Great place. What a healthy animal is green.
Is it 49ers?
49ers. Hell yeah.
Yep, 49ers. Yeah. 49ers in Dallas. Oh, that's kind of a controversial ending to that game as well.
Well, let's start off here. The 49ers just came out the gate, scoring points left and right. I think they did really well with all of that.
Can I just say Debo Do-It-All Samuels? I'm sorry, I was about to say.
Debo Do-It-All Samuel?
Samuel. Oh my gosh. He is a wide receiver and he's a running back. Like, he rushed for 72 yards. He received for 38 yards. Like, come on now. Like, he just does it all.
Man, I can listen to her talk football all day. Excuse me while I have a husband moment. Yeah, so on top of that, the Dallas defense wasn't quite what we've seen the rest of the year. All year long, Dallas's defense has just been one of them,
because I had them in fantasy, and let me tell you, they gave me a shit. They helped me win, kick this one's ass.
Anyway.
But I don't know. They just made a lot. There was a lot of penalties, and
14 penalties they had.
That's wild.
14 penalties Dallas had the whole game.
How do you expect to win a game when you keep screwing over yourself? Like,
and a lot of people would say that might be partially to blame against the coach more than anything.
Well,
and here's what's interesting about that. Mike McCarthy's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He just recently came into Dallas. He used to be the Green Bay Packers coach. This is before you started following.
He was the head coach, or was he an assistant coach?
He was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers.
Really? I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Coached Aaron Rodgers. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He left there. I think he got fired.
Yep. I would assume. Wait, hold on. He was the head coach with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
So did he ever win did he win?
Yeah.
So he was the coach of the Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers won.
Yeah,
and back,
I think so.
we just seen 2009 or something like that?
Whenever it was, yeah.
2010?
So anyway, he was the coach. He gets fired. He takes a year off of football.
Mm-hmm.
In that year off of football, he starts studying something known as analytics.
Okay.
Analytics has become a lot more popular lately. Analytics are basically things that, like, they'll have guys studying the game so much that they'll say, like, okay, when it's this score, when you're down by this many points, it makes more sense to go for 2 when you score a touchdown than it would to get a field goal. When you're down this many points and there's this much time left, it makes sense to kick an onside kick here. Okay. Or it makes sense to go for it on 4th and down. They just study the game and they pay attention to every stuff that has, like, high risk. They pay attention to when it makes sense to do high risk stuff.
I got you.
So, with all the high risk stuff that could be done, Mike McCarthy last night decides it's towards the end of the game. What's the play you draw up, Blaze? You want to get to the special play we got here queued up for the Cowboys game? Oh, they going fuck after the show. So 14 seconds left in the game. It's 2nd and 1. You're at pretty much the 40-yard line. You're ready to throw a bomb. No timeouts. Mike McCarthy calls up a quarterback draw.
Yeah. First off, he should have ran the other way to go out of bounds, so then you get
regardless. I think the idea here was to go halfway down the field. Now look, they would be at the 25-yard line. It's a lot easier to connect a touchdown pass at the 25-yard line than it would be from the 40. That part makes sense. That's the analytics part coming through from Mike McCarthy. The problem with that, and apparently someone forgot to tell Mike McCarthy this, you have to have a team that can execute some shit like that before you go doing some shit like that, because this was not the team to do it.
Dak Prescott could not execute.
No, what ended up happening is he slides down, and because they don't have another timeout, he can't just stop the clock. He has to line up, and they have to spike the ball. When A quarterback spikes the ball. They lose it down, which was fine because it was second down. It would give him another play. So it would have been third
and they were close
one.
to the end zone.
Right. It would have been third down when he spiked it.
No, it would have been second down because they got the first down with that.
Right.
one.
You're right.
So
it would have been. You're right. It would have been first down. It would have been second down after he spiked it. Yep.
Another
and they would have
correction.
stopped the clock. They would have gave him one more play. Right. Instead, what happens is he tries lining up the ball. Now, there is a rule in football. In the NFL, this sounds ridiculous, but the referee, the officials, the umpire, whatever you want to call them, has to touch the ball and place the ball down on the turf in between every play. And you'll see it right here. Dak Prescott tries to do that himself. He picks up the ball and he goes, come on, let's line up for another play. The referee never gets a chance to touch it.
Mind you, when they lined up, they had was it 9 seconds left on the clock?
Something like
On the
that.
play clock?
It was
enough for another play, at least. And he just never gave it to the referee. He put it down himself, hoping to hike the ball.
The better play would have been, like you're saying, to give the ball, find a referee, give the ball to the referee, let him place it as quickly as possible, hopefully have a second or two to spare to spike the ball and set yourself up for the play. That didn't happen.
Nope. Instead the referee almost falls over
the referee
him.
almost tackles Dak to try to get to the ball. And you're left right here. You'll see it right here. He kind of tackles everyone. Hey, I got to touch that ball. He doesn't have to place anywhere. He just has to touch it. Make sure that it's legal. You know, you don't want a ball that's been deflated or something like that. You have to make sure that's the ball that the referee, can confirm. It's just rules. That's the rules of the fucking game.
Yeah.
The problem is there's tons of Cowboys fans out there now saying, fuck the refs. The refs cheated. Everyone cheated.
let's they're saying that it's the refs' fault and stuff. Let's just call it what it is, okay? No, regardless of what happened, the Cowboys lost this game based upon all the penalties.
Yeah.
The 14 penalties. It doesn't matter because let me tell you, even if they had time, I highly doubt they would have got a touchdown.
That's the other thing.
Time would have ran out anyways because they wouldn't have been able to execute the plan or the play.
I mean, even if they did pull it off, they still had to throw the ball. They still had to. Everything had to work a lot more in their favor.
Like it was very hard at that time. It would be, they had no timeout, so it would have been very hard to score. It'd be almost like a Hail Mary.
Hey, the name of the show.
And it would be, so.
We did the thing. Oh fuck.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that's unfortunately the way it ended. It was just they said the name. It was just a weird shit show of an ending.
It was a weird time for refs and things that happened. You had the thing with Cincinnati. You had the thing. It was just odd.
Nutsack, he has to pick up the ball. He can't just tap it. You have to you kind of have to pick it up and make sure that it's good. Think of it as if the ref has to inspect the ball in between every play before it can just be he doesn't want them to fuck with the ball. I mean, you can hide something in your pants or whatever to fuck with the ball when a ref's not looking, especially in a very high pressured moment like that. If Dak would have just gave him the ball here instead of just trying to line it up himself and kind of getting in the way, he would have had time to do that and still been able to spike.
Well, regardless, so you look at the time, there was 9 seconds, and when he did that, by the time the ref got over there, it was about 4 or 3 seconds left on the clock. So it's just what play can you do with that? It's just,
Absolutely. Someone
crazy.
just followed me.
Oh, thanks for the follow.
Not here on my account.
Oh.
I don't know why that's funny, but whatever. Appreciate it. Anyway,
I also want to point out, and I'm sorry if I'm getting in between you guys' conversation, but after I saw this play, I went and researched how many times referees mess up NFL plays.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of
staggering
times within the season. It's wow, these guys, I know there's a lot to pay attention to, but you have to be aware of a lot of things and where other players are going. I'd imagine you'd follow the ball, right? And they're off paying attention to other things too. But
I mean,
how much referees just.
Oh yeah, refs fuck up a lot. Yeah, whether they're just getting in the way. Blaze just commenting on how much the refs fuck up over time. He said he's looking it up, and it's a staggering amount. You know how much. But I mean, this happened a couple of years ago, and honestly, Blaze, what's crazy about it is the amount of times it happens in the playoffs specifically. It's constantly.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been happening more consistently lately. All year I feel like there's been some type of controversial call or like something was wrong or, you know, there should have been a penalty. I watched a lot of games this year where, you know, holding face mask, they don't call it, but then they call it for someone else when they're not even touching the helmet. Like, it's just, it's wild. It's wild.
I mean, nah, nutsack. They kind of. I don't agree with that. I don't think they should have got one more play. I think that was by the rules. I mean, oh, this is great, Blaze. Good transition here. Let's touch on this a little bit. This is the aftermath.
The aftermath of what happened,
if you will. So the fans are not happy about
they're
this by any stretch of the imagination.
This is and they're throwing freaking bottles at the Cowboys player and the refs.
Yeah. So this is uncalled for. And you know, the refs have done some shitty stuff before, right? Nothing really happened, in my opinion, that they did wrong here. I get that America's pissed. This is America's team, and according to America, the refs just made America's team lose. But at the end of the day, they didn't do anything wrong. They did what they were supposed to do.
If Dak would have handed them the ball,
Dak Prescott didn't do what he was supposed to do.
What gets me is the press conference after they go into the thing and they do meet with press or whatever. Dak goes, or they mention about like the fans throwing the bottles at them and stuff, and he was like, it's wrong, you know, they shouldn't do that, like, we work hard and stuff. And then like a reporter says something about they were throwing it at the referee too, and he was like, what did he say, like, oh, that's okay or something?
Yeah, he basically
he contradicted himself. Like, he was like, you shouldn't throw it at me, but it's okay if you throw it at the refs. Like, come on now, dude. Come on now. Like,
so real quick, Nutsack says, especially if there should have been a ref right there, my man ran from the backfield. Every ref has a responsibility. That ref's responsibility was to check the ball every play. I mean, he has to run down the field. He's not an athlete like the rest of the guys on the field is. You know what I mean? So like, he has to run down the field every time. So that's kind of why that happened. But real quick, before we get to the Blaze has this queued up.
Okay.
Now you might not know about this.
Real quick, I just want to say I do kind of agree with Nutsack there. Like, maybe they should have gave him like one play. Maybe put like 2 seconds.
I kind of wish they would have, just so they could have fucking thrown it in.
Because they wouldn't have made it.
America would have shut
I mean, come on now. Like, just give them 2 or 3 seconds. Let them make a play, because that wasn't gonna happen. Like, they just weren't clicking last night. Like, it wasn't working. Whatever they were doing offensively was not working.
So back in 2001, I know, the long time ago, 2001. Please don't adjust your
it looks like it's from 1974.
No kidding.
Like,
Jacksonville and Cleveland played against each other. This was in Cleveland. All the Ohio homies out there can probably remember this. This was known as now Bottlegate. Basically, what happened was a play happens, and the Browns get a call their way, like that favors them a bit. No, I beg your pardon. It was basically, I think it was a review to see whether or not it was a catch, and then it turned out to have to go to review. And the review fell in the favor of the Browns. They call the play, or they call the next play, they do the next play, and then the refs go, hold on a second, cancel this play, let's go back a play. On second thought, we changed our mind.
Which they can't even do if the other play starts.
Once the next play starts, you're no longer allowed to go back on a review.
Null and void,
but they did exactly that. And this was the result.
They're beer bottles, not water bottles.
Yeah. This was the result from Cleveland fans. They just went nuts. They threw everything they had onto the field. And this is like, it was a mess though. There was reps out there on the field trying to sort everything out. They didn't know what was happening. Coaches are asking questions. They don't know what's happening. Players are asking questions. They don't know what's happening. It was an absolute mess. And will forever be known in the history of the NFL from this point forward. Oh man. But anyway, let's see here. One last thing. If you give them 1 second or 2 on the play clock, you don't get bottles thrown at the refs, just at the Cowboys. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Then there would have been none of this. I can say in a minute, you guys just suck. Yeah. All right. So enough about all that stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about
the last game.
The last game. Blaze, I think I got it from here. I don't think you have these videos, right?
The Steelers versus the Chiefs.
Steelers and Chiefs. So, we still got to do that one. I forgot about that one. We still have to do Steelers and Chiefs, Blaze. We never covered that one.
Yeah, that was last night's game.
Oh, fuck.
Obviously, we know, the Chiefs won. It was 21 Steelers and 42 Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
this was probably Ben Roethlisberger's, the Pittsburgh quarterback, last game. Has been talking about retiring. He's been a quarterback for, I think it's been 18 years he's played for Pittsburgh.
That long?
18 or 19 years, yeah.
Well, he would have came into the draft.
He came in. Keep in mind, he came in a few years after Tom Brady.
Yep.
I think he's like 39.
Yeah.
So, and Tom Brady's 44 or 43, going to be 44. Or, yeah. So just keep that in mind. He's retiring and.
Roethlisberger came in the same year. He was drafted the same year Eli Manning.
Okay.
Give you a little bit of a.
I think that was like 2002, 2003 or something.
2004.
2004. Okay. I was close. So yeah.
Roethlisberger's last game. So before we even go into this, Roethlisberger said in a press conference, he was quoted, something to the extent of, "We're probably going to lose by like 20 something points. I don't care. I'm just going out there to have fun." Like, he kind of knew what it was. They were way over. What's the word I'm looking for here? Outclassed.
Yeah. Let's just say, he 29 out of 44 for his percentage of throw.
Little nutsack says Mahomes.
Mahomes. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so as you know, my little cousin's saying there, Mahomes was definitely Mahomes' form last night. Let's see what kind of that's the wonderful white.
Can I just talk about one play that I thought was really cool that the Chiefs did? With do you have that or
Blaze, do we have that?
With Kelsey throwing.
Oh, it's in the highlight reel. Okay,
Cool. Yeah, so this one play I really like that they did, which was clever.
Go ahead.
Andy Reid, let's just real quick before I go, he's the coach. He coached Philadelphia for 14 years. And then he didn't even take a year off. He went right to the Chiefs and been coaching the Chiefs. This is his 9th year. He is such an underrated coach. Like, the plays that he comes up with, he's just clever. And then this one play that he did. So, like, he had Patrick Mahomes give the ball off to Travis Kelce, and then Travis Kelce threw it to, I don't know which person he threw it to, but it wasn't Tyreek Hill. I think it might have been Edmonds.
Maybe Pringle.
Maybe, or Singletary. Was it
Well, I don't know.
Or someone. He threw it, and he threw it for a touchdown pass. I think it was the first time ever that a tight end threw a touchdown pass in a playoff game.
Maybe.
It was just clever.
I think it was the second time.
The second time? I know it hasn't happened a lot. Oh, sorry. The Philly special was but I just thought that was clever. Like, the tight end threw it to a receiver, and then, for the touchdown. Like, that's just, they're just like, okay, you guys aren't showing up. We're just going to just pass it to everybody. I feel like everybody, kind of like with the Bills, scoring touchdowns.
They threw it to the
big man balling right there.
They threw it to the tackle. Now, the tackle's the offensive lineman. Typically, they don't get the ball thrown to them, but when they do, they step up and they make the catch because they don't get those opportunities a lot. So it was cool to see that. I know Blaze pointed it out to me when we were watching the games last night. Blaze texted me. It's just like, "Yo, my big man just got a touchdown. We got to have this on the show tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, absolutely. We'll cover that."
I've noticed as I've been watching football the last couple years that I notice that happens a lot when that team is kicking the other team's ass. It's just like, okay,
sometimes,
like, here you go. You get a touchdown. It's like Oprah, you get a car. You get a car.
Fun fact.
You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown.
Because one of my favorite things to do is to shit on my favorite team, the Giants. So this year, we went out and got a really expensive wide receiver by the name of Kenny Golladay. They paid like some absurd amount, $42 million or $70-something million for him. They paid a lot of money.
I think he got hurt.
Hold on. He played 14 games. If he got hurt, he only missed 3. So, trust me, I got this one all covered. They also had a rookie wide receiver that was supposed to be really good, Kadarius Toney. First round pick. He started off good, whatever. Here's a fun fact. Their left tackle, the offensive lineman, big man Ballin, had more receiving touchdowns than both of those players combined.
Wow.
There's a fun fact.
Wow, yeah. Well,
throughout the entire season.
He just wants to throw in his Giants and playoff scenario to talk about him because it's not going to happen for a very, very long time.
Hold on a second. Let's keep in mind, timeout. I just want to throw this out there. Mike McCarthy never calls that quarterback draw play if he doesn't get inspired by Joe Judge calling a QB sneak when he shouldn't be. Fucking weeks ago. That's all we're not gonna talk shit on the Giants anymore. That's enough. All right, so do we want to get into the last game to predict? Because we're kind of getting close to time here.
Yeah.
So Blaze, I'm gonna kind of take over here. I think I know what I'm doing here. Let's just pull this up.
He always thinks he knows what he's doing.
Shush, I got this.
Never wrong, always right.
So here we got the Cardinals. This is Kyler Murray, and this is basically what I think is going to be the X factor in tonight's game.
Well, let's be fair. You've been talking, and now he's been talking about Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Like, that's his pick to go to the Super Bowl.
Let's touch on that real quick.
We didn't even think about that.
We kind of already picked our Super Bowl prediction, and as of this week, we're still above water. Well, so far. Obviously, you guys just heard one of mine was the Cardinals, the other team being the Cincinnati Bengals. And as you guys heard earlier, Cincinnati Bengals won, breaking their streak of never winning playoff games since 1991. What are your Super Bowl picks?
It kills me to say this because my team goes against them next week. But I made my pick. This was before I watched the game this Saturday. And this is, I picked the Chiefs going against Green Bay in the Super Bowl and Green Bay winning.
Yep. That is correct. So
I've been saying that for halfway through the season.
I didn't choose a victor of my team. It's just Cincinnati versus Arizona.
You don't care who wins.
I just want to see that.
I honestly truly want the Bills. That's my team, but at the time I was just calling it like I was seeing it.
So Kyler Murray is the quarterback of the Cardinals. And I think
fun fact, I'm sorry to cut you off, but fun fact about Kyler Murray is that he went into the NFL draft and he was also in the baseball draft as well, the MLB. Mm-hmm. And he chose to go with football, and he would have been like in the top round.
He would have been the number one pick
for baseball.
But instead he was number one pick for football. So this guy's a hell of an athlete.
He's really, one hell of an arm.
He has a great arm. He can throw the ball down the field. He can run the ball down the field. He's quick. He's agile. He's elusive as hell. I mean, you see right here, he's just chucking it up there.
And defenses don't know how to, how do you contain, when he's on his A game, how do you contain something like that?
Yep, you pretty much have to focus your entire defense around him as a unit. And what sucks about that is there's so many weapons on the Arizona offense that it's kind of hard to stop just all of them at the same time.
There was. I mean, their main receiver.
There's one guy that's out. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is out. That's a problem. But at the same time,
that was the Hail Mary.
I mean, you can see right here, he's just kind of running around. Finally finds a guy open. There's DeAndre Hopkins, of course.
Speaking of.
Another thing to keep in mind is it's not just going to be the quarterback, but their defense also. I don't have any highlights for this, so we won't talk much about it. But the J.J. Watt's back.
He just got surgery 2 months ago.
A couple months ago. He's back. J.J. Watt. Then Budda Baker. That's someone that I'm telling you guys, if you watch the game tonight, listen for the name Budda Baker. He's getting at least 2 interceptions on that side.
You think so?
That's my fucking crazy pick of the. So I have the Cardinals to win tonight. App has the Rams to win tonight, and the reason I'm mentioning is because we haven't talked about who we picked the rest of the games.
Sorry, we've been so on a roll with everything else.
We were right with everything else. I mean, me and App both picked the Bucks. She picked the 49ers, I picked the Cowboys, so I got a loss there, so I'm down 2. And then this one, the Cardinals and Rams, is another one. So hopefully I can kind of bounce back a little bit with the Cardinals win here. But just in case I can't.
Let's switch over to the Cardinals, the Rams. So for me,
here's the Rams.
I mean, honestly, I personally, I like both of them, as quarterbacks and stuff. But I want to see Matthew Stafford because he was stuck in Detroit for years, and he's a decent quarterback. I want to see him. This is his big game here. Yeah. This is his game where, he's never started, and he's been in the league for 10, 11 years or something like that, or maybe 10 years. Games. But he never won a playoff game. That's what it is. He never won a playoff game. So the Rams spent all this money on getting Odell Beckham Jr. Mm-hmm. They got Von Miller. Mm-hmm. They got
those are the
but they got Aaron Donald. As I'm sure if you're don't even watch football, I'm sure you know who Aaron Donald is. Just from all the talk and stuff. So I mean, let's make up or shut up. Let's see what they could do.
We shall see for sure.
I want to see Matthew Stafford succeed. At least win one game.
Yeah.
I just want to see him succeed.
Well,
Like,
I fucking don't, because that would have ruined my Super Bowl pick.
I just want. It sucks that he's going against the Cardinals. Kind of wish he was going against the Bucks and Tom Brady to kind of, knock them off. But let's see if they win. Go. Whoever wins this game goes against Tampa Bay. So.
Right. Tom Brady. Does Kyler Murray know Bo? He is not the modern Bo Jackson. The modern Bo Jackson, this one's more directed towards me. I would say, and if you know who Bo Jackson is? Yeah. So the modern Bo Jackson, I would say closest one is Derrick Henry. Just running
With the
motherfuckers over.
I remember watching a clip and he's just running in for a touchdown and he runs all the way into the friggin'
Bo Jackson, goes right into the locker room.
The locker room couldn't
he
stop.
Forrest Gumps it. He just keeps running.
I just felt like running.
So, Derrick Henry we'll probably be talking about next week.
Yeah.
Speaking of next week, let's get into our picks for next week. So actually, we can go.
You never wrote them down.
Well, that's fine. We don't need to write them down.
Oh.
We're doing it right now. Right there. Let's switch over to the side-by-side screen, and let's discuss who we are going to have next week. So
we have Tennessee going against Cincinnati
who you got
for the
there?
AFC.
Who are you taking there?
Derrick Henry's coming back, but honestly, I'm gonna take Cincinnati because that was, I like Joe Burrow, and though if you watch a Cincinnati game, they're fun to watch. Like watching him and Jamar Chase click like that, and just throw for 100 and some yards down, and him being there like catching the ball. I think for like he has the most yards in like 3 games. Like passing yards, I think he has like over 1,000 in like
Something
3
crazy.
or 4 games or something like that. Something wild.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch if you care at all. I know some folks are just here for the support. We appreciate you, but the orange team, Cincinnati Bengals that we showed earlier, they're just fun to watch right now. Like she's saying,
They're young. They're all young.
Quarterback. They got a young wide receiver. They both played together in college, so they're already on that.
They
same
won a
chemistry
championship
page.
together.
Yep.
So they know what it is like to win.
So who are you taking for that?
Cincinnati.
You're taking Cincinnati. I mean, obviously I am too. That's my
Yeah.
Super Bowl pick, so I kind of have to stick with that. Although I got to be honest, I'm nervous about the Titans. They're a good team. Titans have the modern day Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Derrick
Henry.
And he's back, and he hasn't played for quite a few games.
And the reason we haven't talked about the Titans yet today is because they had a first round bye, and that comes for being the best team in
their
conference.
division. But they only got it like the last game of the season, because after they lost Derrick Henry, they kind of were on a down. They lost to, was it the Jets or no, to Jacksonville?
Yeah.
They lost to Jacksonville, which Jacksonville is like the worst team in football. Like
So,
it's the worst record.
Giants are like
Giants are there as well. But I mean,
so you're taking Bengals. I'm taking Bengals.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna jot them down. Bengals. Who do you got for the 49ers at Packers?
I'm gonna take the Packers.
Obviously, that's your Super Bowl pick. I think I'm going to as well, though.
I think the Packers can beat 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's holding me back from picking the Packers is the Packers kind of choke in the playoffs, but normally not in the divisional round. They usually make it to the championship.
I'm going to say this now. I'm calling it right now. If Aaron Rodgers does not make it to the Super Bowl and does not win the Super Bowl, he will be playing for another team. And I believe he probably will play for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
I'm calling it right now.
All right, let's see.
So remember this when it's announced in like a couple months.
Okay, how about because we don't know the Buccaneers who they're playing against yet. Let's do it this way. If the Bucks play the Rams, would it change your pick than whether they play are you taking the Bucks either way, or are you taking how's that going?
I want if whoever wins this game, I want to win against the Bucks.
So you're not taking the Bucks either way. Is that am I understanding that correctly? If Arizona wins,
I hate to go. I mean, it's
because I got to take the Cardinals no matter what. So I'm going to assume the Cardinals are winning.
I'll take the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks. As much because if Stafford wins, at least he won one playoff game. So I'll take the Bucks. I don't know if.
But I mean,
they could beat Tom Brady. I don't know playoff Tom Brady. That's tough.
So even if they play the Rams, you're taking the Bucks, and if they play the Cardinals,
I'll take the Bucks.
Either way, you're taking the Bucks. Because I think I would take.
I would take the Bucks.
I would take the Cardinals, but if they play the Rams, I'm taking the Bucks.
I think it's going to be in the championship game for the NFC. It's going to be Green Bay versus Tampa Bay, and I think Green Bay obviously is going to beat Tampa Bay.
I'm putting Cardinals or Bucks because if the Cardinals don't win tonight, then I don't see the Rams beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
But I do see the Cardinals.
And then we got the Bills.
Bills and
Chiefs. This terrifies me. So, for me, even though the Chiefs
It's your Super Bowl pick.
I know. Do I have to pick them? Because the Bills are my team. But I don't know the way the Bills are my team. So I feel like I'm like moving all around here. I'm getting so excited. So the Bills are my team. The way they played Saturday, perfection. I don't care about winning the Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
All right.
I'm going with the Bills.
I like it.
I'm going with the Bills.
I gotta be that guy.
And you're gonna go with the Chiefs.
I have to. I have to. I mean, come on. We got little Nutsack in the chat. He's our number one fan right now, and he's a Mahomes guy. So I'm gonna go with Mahomes, and I'm gonna say the Chiefs.
That'd be wild if it's Cincinnati and the Bills.
She's letting you catch up, Carter. I know, right? She is.
What? Who's saying that?
No, Beat Ups is saying like this week. I'm
not doing good picks.
Right.
Wait, let me see my.
We had the same picks except for the last game.
You think that the Cardinals or the Rams would beat the Bucks?
I think the Cardinals can beat the Bucks. I don't think the Rams
I think the only team that can beat the Bucks right now in the NFC is Green Bay.
We shall certainly see, Bubs.
We shall see.
We'll see.
I'm sad. I was really hoping that the Bills were going against Tennessee and we would get a repeat of last year where it would be the Bills and the Chiefs in the championship round and they can redeem themselves.
Wow.
But the Bills are going for redemption because they lost to them in the championship round. I will never forget seeing a picture of Stephon Diggs just standing while they're all celebrating and shit, like confetti coming down, and he's just so upset.
So hell yeah. Hey Blaze. Still with us, homie? Do you want to grab us a raid target?
A raid target?
This has been fun, guys.
Oh, already got me. Okay. In that case, yeah, let's just close this out. Real quick. Bigfoot says, "You know your shit, Af."
Oh, thanks.
You know who Bigfoot is. Yeah. So this was fun, right?
It was fun. I had a blast. I can't believe it's over already.
I know. It just goes right by, right?
I feel like we just started.
So yeah, we have our picks and all that in line, so we're good to go. We're good to send this off.
Yeah, this week, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of games. So next week will kind of be a little bit, we won't have as many teams to talk about. So we could talk about like who we think MVP is of the season and stuff like that.
We're getting a lot more off-season stuff and like
coaching, who who should be coach of the year and stuff like that.
And maybe even some Giants talk. Yeah, I appreciate you. So, yeah, Blaze, first and foremost, thank you so much.
Thank you, Blaze. You're a god.
An absolute goddamn.
I don't know.
You called me that. So,
I'm a god.
All right, yeah, thank you guys so much. You can send them off.
Bye.
We got 5 seconds.
Oh, we got 5 seconds.
Oh, we got 5 seconds?
We got 5 seconds. It don't gotta be awkward. Watch the game tonight so you'll know what we're talking about next week.
Yes, it comes on at like 8 o'clock.
Like as soon as we're done.
I don't know what time
Manning cast. Oh, watch the Manning cast.
Manning cast, yes. Oh my god, Eli. The Rock's on there tonight.
Before we end, I just want to say that I watched the games and I know exactly what you guys are talking about now. And
did you really?
Makes the show a little bit more enjoyable. Yeah, I watched all the games this weekend.
Really? Blaze watched all the games this weekend. He said.
Really? That's cool.
He said he knows exactly what we're talking about. It makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Oh yeah. And it's Russell Wilson, and then who's the other person?
Go ahead.
I even know about the coach you guys are talking about, the Kansas City Chiefs coach.
Andy Reid.
Trying to go for a head coach. Yeah.
Are we still?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're still live.
We're still live. Jeez, you 5 seconds. That was like a minute ago. Good thing I didn't say anything I wasn't supposed to say.
What the fuck you gonna say? You know what? See, you just get yourself in trouble.
We're going out.
All right. Yeah, get us out of here before she says some crazy shit.
I want to lick this girl's twat.
Whoa!
Isn't that what I said in the one that everybody uses sound drop?
We're done. All right, we're stopping.